Wade, just previewing the first weekend, and we'll start taking questions shortly after. Coach?
Yeah, just excited to get going, excited to have some games. Our guys have done a great job with our preparation, and we've been going at it since October 14th with practice, and it's nice to kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel and have some games next week and get prepared to play. And we're going to play three very good teams, starting with San Francisco, and then we'll move from San Francisco to Western Kentucky, picked to win the Conference USA, and then to St. Louis, who's an elite program in the Atlantic 10. So, be a big week for us, and we'll be jumping right in head first. But our guys are excited. We got a little bit of a jolt yesterday with the news on Sharif, which we're very pleased about, and should be exciting opening weekend. Cobble, you got a question? I'm about to say.
I saw you. I told you I'd see you today, and here I am first in line. How about that? If you would comment on Skylar being drafted, and then secondly, just what excites you most about this year's team?
Well, very excited for Skylar. I think the Hawks is a great organization. I think you just look at the makeup of their roster. It's a very good spot for him. He's gonna find a way to make it work anywhere, but you obviously want things to be stacked in your favor a little bit. And so when you got his work ethic and do what he does, I think he's got it stacked in his favor, and he's going to go in there and work and do what he does. So I think he told me he's got a report early next week, and I mean it's just going to be right into it. So very excited about him getting drafted, and he worked for it. He earned every bit of it. He earned it through his hard work, and that's what you like. My goodness, Ron, you eating a popsicle? Golly. I'm sorry, your second question about this year's team, is that right, Cobble? The one you don't have any film on? And so this year's team, we feel good. We feel good about them, and I like our versatility. I like the way we shoot the ball. We shoot the ball extremely well. We share the ball on offense. Our turnovers are way down in practice. I'm hopeful about that, and our defense is improving. And so I think we add all that together, we've got a good looking squad. But we've got, as of today, we got 10 guys that we can put in a game, and I feel very good about. And if when we go play next week, we're probably going to play 10 in a game. And so feel very good about the team. And I think the biggest difference is our leadership. We have tremendous leadership with Trendon, Watford, and Javonte and Darius Days. This is the best leadership we've had on a team collectively since we've been here. And so just very excited about that. I think that's going to help our team, and I think it's been a big step for Trendon and Javonte and Days, and I couldn't be more pleased and more happy and more proud of those guys for the way they've taken the reins of the team. Sheldon, you're up. You got to unmute yourself, Sheldon.
Hey, Coach. This is Bree Andrews from LSU Tiger TV. Sorry.
Okay, Bree. You beat Sheldon to the punch. I just saw him put it in the chat down here, but you beat Sheldon to the punch.
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to ask, your team is ranked number 3 in the SEC, but they're not ranked in the AP poll. So I don't know, like, you as a coach or y'all as a team really pay attention to stuff like that, but, like, does that excite you that y'all are number 3 in the SEC, and, like, does that give you a little boost of confidence and maybe something to prove to get into the AP poll?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't like being picked third in much of anything. So, we'll see how that goes. I will say this. Every year we've been here, we've outperformed where they thought we would. So I think the year we won it, we were picked 5th or 6th. Our first year we were picked last. Last year I think we were picked 3rd and came in 2nd, something like that, 3rd or 4th. You probably know that more than anybody. But every year we've outperformed our ranking, and we don't plan on stopping that trend. And so they may have picked us 3rd and that sort of thing. But, we plan on finishing higher than 3rd. We're very confident group. We feel good about our team, and if we play to our capabilities, and like I said, that leadership group with Trendon, Javonte, and Darius, I feel great about our prospects both in league, and you win SEC games, you're top, finish top of the SEC, you're going to get that national recognition.
Hey, Coach. I guess I got kind of a two-parter for you. I guess starting with next week's tournament, did you have much of a say? And I guess the teams that you guys are going to be playing, I know that scheduling is a big deal for you. So that's kind of my first part. And then second part is, do you have like an early guess on what the starting five might look like, or are you not going to tell us?
I got a very good guess. I'm just not going to tell you. Actually, I don't have a guess. I kind of know. But you have to tune into the first game to find out, I guess. But yeah, I guess I'm answering the second question first. But yeah, we know who will start. I think it's been pretty clear. I think our players know. I'm sure y'all will try to get that out of them when they come on after me. But you just probably have to read Sheldon's column in The Advocate with his projected starters and see what he comes up with the day of the first game. But your first question, the scheduling. We did have a say with the Nebraska. Everything's moving. I'm not sure. We've obviously got a very good schedule with the net. We got one quad 4 game right now. All that sort of stuff. I'm not sure how much any of that's going to matter. It's just going to be a matter of how many games can you get in and that sort of thing more than anything. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who you play and all that sort of stuff is going to matter nearly as much this year as just playing games and doing well in league play. But we certainly, San Francisco is going to be a quad 2. Western Kentucky is going to be quad 2 or quad 1, and St. Louis will be for sure quad 1. So, it's a good start, and Louisiana Tech's going to be borderline quad 2, quad 3. You go through the schedule. South Florida will be quad 2, New Orleans be 4, North Texas be 2-3, and VCU will be 2-3, and Texas Tech will be Q1. So. You go through the schedule. It's and most of the SEC teams are 1 or 2, with the exception of maybe a couple of them towards the rear there. But I think the schedule will be very, very tough. And but like I said, I'm not sure this year you'll get rewarded as much maybe in the past as you do, just because what's going to happen to us is inevitably that's what I spent my morning doing. Inevitably, games are going to get postponed, going to get canceled. And so we're just going to be, we're going to have to fill in. And so I was talking to McNeese and South, I was just talking to teams in the state, Northwestern, Monroe, all those guys to get a sense of what dates they've got open. So if we've got to start plugging and playing, that we can do that. And so, how can you, the whole point's to get our guys exposure, get our guys games, get our guys better. And at the end of the day, the number one objective is to play the games. Who we play, I'm not sure is as important, especially with cancellations and the safety protocols.
Sheldon?
Will, I got a two-parter. One, usually you have a couple of open scrimmages against teams, and you don't have that this year. Are you a little concerned that you haven't played anybody yet? And also, obvious importance of getting those 3 guys back that put their names in the NFL draft, NBA draft. Probably could play in the NFL, but the NBA draft, the importance of getting them back this year. Kind of the heart and soul of your team, I guess.
Yeah. Your first question was what?
Usually you play a couple of scrimmages.
Oh, yeah, scrimmages. Yeah. Everybody's in the same boat. I don't really know what we can do about it. Our best game of the year last year may have been our first scrimmage. We may have trailed off after that. Kent's nodding his head. Kent was there. We looked tremendous in our first scrimmage last year, and then we kind of tailed off from there. Everybody's in the same boat. It is what it is. Would I like to have scrimmages? Yeah. Would I like to have dress rehearsals and all that sort of stuff? 100%. But that's just, we're not living in a perfect world, and we got to adjust and do what we do. So hopefully we'll play well in the first game like we did that first scrimmage and kind of keep it going from there this year. In terms of those 3 back, it's huge. They're 3 of our best players, and just the feedback they got and the leadership they've exhibited. It's their team. I'm the coach and I set the structure and set some of the the daily regimen to everything. But at the end of the day, it's Trendon's team. it's Javonte, on the offense and Days, holding everybody accountable for the rebounding and manning, with our defense and getting our defensive calls set. So, I mean, it's having those guys back. You got Days and Javonte, who are two juniors, and you've got Trendon, who's a sophomore, and they've got tons of SEC minutes, tons of game minutes under their belt. I mean, it's what gives you confidence and gives you the ability to go schedule like we did. Is you got three good, really, really good players. I think I saw this morning. I think Kent told me Javonte and Trendon were both on the All SEC team, first team All SEC, I believe. Which, I mean, you got 2 first-team All-SEC players. You got a good team, to Bree's point.
If I may, one more. Did they express kind of to you that they were motivated to come back because of what happened at the end of last year, where it was cut short?
I don't think that had. I mean, they came back because of the draft process, and the draft process, told them this was the best option for him. I'm not sure how the year ended last year had much effect on it. I think it was more just the draft process and the feedback said this was the best place.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching video of those guys this really soon. So, what led to
you have to tune in to Boot Up TV. I think our initial episode here is coming out here pretty soon. We'll have some practice clips on there, Cobble, that you've been dying to get. So maybe you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then I'm not exactly sure how all this works, but you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a hell of a first episode. I had to just film a part the other day. It's a great first episode, and we'll have practice clips in there just for you. It'll be perfect. I mean, you can't ask for it, but we bought a just for this Boot Up TV and all this stuff. We bought a brand new camera. It's got all this 3D. It's unbelievable. So it'll be great quality for you. The whole deal.
Does anyone know how to use it though?
We got Tyrone, our video coordinator, Nick Flory, Jake Steinhardt. Jake and Nick are we got like a dozen people in our program that know how to use it. Kent doesn't know how to use it, but everybody else got a pretty good idea on how to use it. What was your question?
Exactly. The leadership, where did that stem from? Was it just time? Was it because this year was extra challenging and the guys needed to kind of step up? Or where do you think that came from?
No BS. That's a good question. It came from, look, I didn't do a very good job last year with our group. And I did a poor job. I know it sounds crazy. We came in second place or whatnot, but I didn't do a very good job. And sometimes when you go through that draft process, man, I mean, as the head coach, you learn some stuff too. You learn what the perception of your program is. You learn, you get some feedback from the players. I sat down and had a long exit interview with Skylar. I had a long exit interview with I talked to every player in our program, every person in our program. One thing that COVID allowed me, I had to come to grips with some things I wasn't doing very well. And, I appreciate, I'll say this publicly, I appreciate Trendon. I've learned as much from Trendon, Javonte, and Darius and the feedback that those guys, along with Skylar, gave me to allow me to change our program to where we are right now. We had gotten off of track. Our first 2 years we were on track. We totally slid off track last year. And it's very difficult to get back. And because of those guys and their honesty and their forthrightness, we're able to get back on track. That's why I'm so confident with this team. Like, we got a great team. We got great talent. We've had great talent a lot of the times we've been here. We had great talent last year. We didn't have a ton of it, but we had great talent. We didn't have all the other stuff. I just got out of a leadership meeting. We meet once a week with the leadership group, me and Coach Golden and Bruce Buggs, who's part of our high-performance team. And we've restructured the whole deal. And it's a credit to those guys. They had some guts to come up to me and say, Coach, this ain't right. This isn't, you said this in recruiting, and this hadn't gone how we need to go. And, I got to look in the mirror and say, I can sit there and say, make excuses, but they were right. They were right. And we got this stuff fixed. And that's why, this is why we're poised to really, really take off, and we've got everything set back right. And I'm proud of those guys, and shoot, all the success we have this year will be owed to them, changing the structure. Our guys are having fun again. Now, don't get me wrong, we work our ass off still. I mean, this isn't, we're not handing out cookies after practice now. But it, everybody's on the same page, staff's on the same page, managers on the same page, GA's on the same page. We got everybody on the same page. And we didn't always have that last year. And we're going to keep everybody on the same page. And that's a credit to Trendon and Javonte and Darius and some of the tough conversations that we had around them coming back. I mean, the day they came back, it's great for LSU, selfishly. But in some ways, man, I failed those kids. Like Trendon should have been one and done. And he's back, and we got to make it work this year and make sure he has a great year. But some of the stuff I did last year contributed to him being back. And that ain't a very good thing to have on your heart as a coach. And so, I owe a lot to those guys. That's a good question. You didn't even know what can of worms you opened there, Cobble. That was a really good question, and those kids have. Hopefully, I've taught them a lot, but they've taught me a lot.
Yeah, well, Ron Higgins, what exactly did you change? What was some of the things that they kind of told you and you thought about that maybe you'd change them?
Everything. I mean, always get better. Our efficiencies. I don't want to get into our entire programmatic structure, but put more of the leadership on the players. Really, one voice from the coaching staff, my voice. We've just divvied up into different departments. We probably had too many people with their hands in too many different jars, and not enough just structure on things. And so, I mean, it's been a wholesale change across the board, and we've had unbelievable help. It's not me. I had unbelievable help from those players, and they've been with it every step of the way. And had great help from our high-performance team. I mean, Sean Eddy, our athletic trainer, he's as vital a member of this program as we had, not just because of the COVID, but he's been around a lot of stuff. He's with Coach Burtman in baseball. He's seen how things are supposed to be done. But our high-performance teams, myself, Coach Armstrong, and Sean Eddy, Greg Golden, our strength coach, and then Bruce Buggs, Greg Graber, and Joel Fish, who kind of form the mental part of things. And we've invested tons and tons of time into what we would consider upstream thinking. So we did a lot of downstream thinking, which is reacting. And you can't measure what we're doing, but for instance, this is an example of what we've got. So in the past, if you missed study hall, let's say you were late to study hall or missed a tutor. All right, let's use that as an example. Unfortunately, that happens. In the past, I'd get 8 emails a week for guys being late to that sort of stuff or missing or whatever. Well, I would run each individual player and, whatever. They would just move on. But the same people would miss. It was the same bad actors every week. So now I have our team divided into units. You can probably guess the units are Javonte, Darius, and Trendon are the unit leaders, and they've got people under them, and that's what it's divided out like that. I may get one a week where we have a miss. Because I promise you this, if you miss in Trendon Watford's group, it is going to be hell. He's going to be miserable on you. And he's going to call you out, and there's consequences that the group leader, the unit leader, predetermined stuff. And so it's just, it's can I measure all of that? Not really, but I know that my emails are going down and people are doing more what they're supposed to do on and off the court. There's a basketball component to it, ranked in practice every day based on certain, there's all sorts of different components to it. It'd take me 8 hours to explain everything. But that's the long and short of it.
Hey, Will, last year, Javonte.
Damn, Billy, I didn't know you were still alive.
And I'm here. I'm around.
I know you're alive.
Wish we were, inside the walls with you guys, getting to see you guys. But anyway, Javonte last year was, making that transition into being the point guard, and took some time, but finished really well in the SEC. How much more confident is he this year? And also, can you see some more comfort level because he's not adjusting with the being the lead point guard, and that's allowing him to be a little bit more of a leader?
You guys are hitting on all cylinders with your questions today. That's another great question.
Took a lot of time off to get.
I know y'all have all had all this time off, so you've been saving up all these good questions. See, Ken, if we don't do press conferences every day, they got better questions. But no, it's a heck of an observation. Look, Javonte was the best point. Statistically speaking, he was as good a point guard as we had in the SEC, in SEC play. But it took, we took some lumps, and we're not going to take those this year. I mean, he's finishing at, one of his biggest, just for instance, he was finishing 39% in the paint last year. In practice, right now, going against bigger guys, and then he goes in the game sometimes. He's up to 67% finishing. Like, that's a huge piece to his game, and then that opens up, spraying it out. I'm not trying not to get ahead. He had 6 assists, 1 turnover in our scrimmage the other day. Just tremendous, moving that ball, and he's just got such a better command, and he runs our offense. Me and him sit down and talk, and we've watched, talk about the leadership part. We watched film all summer, and he told me, this is, you get caught as a head coach doing so much other stuff. You got so much other stuff pulling at you. At the end of the day, you got to be here for your guy. He told me after the first week, he's like, Coach, I've learned more watching film with you this week than I probably learned in 2 years here. And so, we went through we did every, we went through everything on film. And, I'm glad we're doing it now, but shame on me for it being, his junior year before we're doing all this. But he's much more comfortable. He's the best point guard in the SEC and one of, if not the best point guards in the country. And I wouldn't trade him for anybody. Just the total package with his play, his leadership, his efficiency. He's getting better defensively. He's going to get some steals. He's going to get in there and rebound, stick his nose in there and rebound and be a big guard and do what he needs to do. So he's I don't want any other point guard but him.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, I know you guys got the official word on the 3 transfers now. I guess I'm just kind of curious, though, just from a more, holistic standpoint, how just, like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, but just what kind of things have they brought to the program that's maybe different than maybe what you guys have practiced? Have they brought in tendencies from their previous stops as to how, you guys can better run things?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of how
That's a leading question, Glenn. I like that. You want me to talk about Penn Johnson with the zone? Is that what we're getting at here?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you want.
You always learn from what other guys bring from different programs. I'll tell you this: they don't come much better than Sharif O'Neal. He's a just unbelievable character, unbelievable person, unbelievable. You talk about our next kind of group of leaders within our team. We got Cook, we got Imwani, we got Sharif, we got Hyatt, man. We got some unbelievable. We're stacking leadership on top of leadership, which has got me very excited, not only for this year but moving forward. And Sharif's brought that, and Penn certainly played in the zone before and can help us in the zone, and LeBlanc brings some toughness and some grittiness and kind of that Baton Rouge edge that Javonte has. They've all definitely been value added for our guys, for our program. Sheldon?
Yes, I'm ready. Ron took my question about what you learned, but how many guys are on that? How many players are on that leadership? You call it leadership council?
Yeah, Javonte, Days, and Trendon.
Okay. Have you had that every year as a head coach? No.
I've had a version of it, but not. I didn't do it last year or the year before.
Why not?
Well, you evolve and get better.
And where did you think things came unhinged last year? I mean, in that regard.
Oh, I don't want to get into all that. That's in the past. We're moving forward. I don't want to get into all that. It's my fault. I screwed it up. It came unhinged with me. I let some things slip. I let some things slide. I rationalized a few things that I shouldn't have done. And the short answer is we became unhinged in Spain. That's how bad it was. And so Spain, and then it just, we can call it what it is. At the end of the season, we were leaking oil. We were just trying to get to the finish line. And hopefully we could have caught our second wind in the SEC tournament, but it's my fault.
We'll go to Cobble, and then we'll try and put Billy in as well.
Enjoying this therapy session, especially watching Kent's face. I wish he wasn't wearing a mask. So I can really just gauge how nervous he is about what you're going to say next.
This has been good.
It's been great. I love it.
You just need video to go with it, but you love it.
Oh, video. It kind of stemming to your point is, did you take more control back or give up more control, and that's why you're more at peace with where you are right now? I gave more control of off-the-court stuff to the players, and I took firm control of on-the-court stuff. That answer? I mean, that's the basics of it.
I don't know if I missed it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask if everybody was healthy. We get an injury report. I hadn't seen that.
You didn't miss it, but it's a good catch. Everybody's healthy. Manning has started to work back in. He started to do some drills and stuff. His foot's feeling as good as it's ever felt. So he's feeling great. And everybody's healthy, and we won't have LeBlanc the first game, obviously, with the waiver situation and the transfer situation. We won't have him till after South Florida in December. But everybody else is ready to roll.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate the time.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you in a couple weeks.
We'll have Javonte here. Okay, Trendon, we'll get started. We'll open it up with questions. We'll start with...
What's up, Trendon? Good to see you. Yeah, you watched the NBA draft last night, and Will was talking about how, obviously, probably coming in, you thought you'd be a one-and-done. He certainly thought kind of let you down in that regard. How motivating was it watching the draft last night heading into this season for you?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely motivating. Just seeing a lot of guys I know, seeing a lot of guys I played against, seeing their dreams come true. And, it was definitely motivating. I woke up this morning with a little bit extra motivation on the way to the gym. So Yeah, I'm looking forward to my dreams coming true, and I'm just taking it day by day.
Hey, Trendon, good to see you again, man. I guess, Coach Wade was just talking to us about, this leadership council that you guys put together this offseason. And I was just wondering, just kind of over this last year, just kind of how you think you've grown as a leader and just kind of how important that leadership council with you, Javonte, and Darius has been to this point.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've grown tremendously. I had a year last year under Skylar Mays' wing, and just learning from him how to be a leader, and that was my biggest thing coming back for year 2, just to be a better vocal leader, a better team leader, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that. So has Javonte and Darius. So we're just trying to lead by example, and just keep this thing going.
Hey Trendon, how you doing? Two questions here. One, what did you think you had to work on most in the off season to get better? And then also, I know you had to do what was best for you and your family, but when you put your name in the draft and then took it out, in the back of your mind, did you have unfinished business maybe with the way last season ended?
Oh yeah, my biggest thing coming back, this year was, I just wanted to work on my 3-point percentage. I know I'm a better shooter than what my 3-point percentage showed last year, and obviously, just to keep working on my free throws, I did a good job last year of that, just getting better at that, and just trying to become a better playmaker. We got a lot of good guys around me, a lot of shooters, so with them being able to space the floor allows me to drive and just make plays for them. And what was the second question again?
Coming back, like I said, you had to do what was best for you and your family to check things out. But did you have in the back of your mind that we needed to finish what y'all didn't finish last year? Oh
yeah, definitely. I wanted to come back and play. I love LSU and I love my team. So I feel like we definitely have unfinished business. I never got a chance to play in the NCAA tournament, and that's been a dream of mine. So I'm looking forward to this year, and I'm ready to get this thing started.
Thanks.
Hey, Trendon, I got a number of questions for you. I'll start with the easy one. What are you looking forward to about this year's team specifically?
I'm just looking forward to us maximizing our potential. I think we got a lot of good guys coming back. A lot of guys from last year, and a great freshman group with Jalen Cook, Cam Thomas, Mawani, Eric. Even the transfers we have that came in. I think we got a good chance to maximize our potential, and that's my biggest thing. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Will was really honest with us just a moment ago, to the point where it's kind of shocking. But he said that he failed you, not getting you ready for last year. He said he learned a lot from you, as much from you as he hopes he had taught you. To hear your coach, obviously you've had conversations with him. I don't need you to get into too much depth with him, but how refreshing is it to know that your voice is not only heard but valued, and that it can affect change within your program to hopefully make all of you better? Oh
yeah, me and Coach Wade, we've talked a lot. Everything happens for a reason though. So I wouldn't say he failed me. I'm back. I'm here for year 2, and I'm ready to get it going. Me and Coach Wade have a strong relationship. We've always had a strong relationship. So, just us talking all the time. Me and him watching film together a lot with the last year with last year stuff. There's been changes made, and I'm just looking forward to this year.
Hey Trendon, you mentioned the transfers. You mentioned some of the newcomers. Can you give us a glimpse into the front court with Penn Johnson and Josh Gray and Josh LeBlanc and some of the new guys that are up front and what they bring?
Yeah, we got a numerous new guys, like you just said. Penn Johnson, Sharif, Josh LeBlanc, Josh Gray. And, I think all of those bring different stuff to the table. Josh Gray and Big Penn are, they're 7-footers. So, they're protecting the rim, crashing the glass, keeping everybody off the glass. And, Sharif and Josh LeBlanc, he's probably one of the best defenders on our team. And, Sharif brings a lot of versatility to the team. So, it's a different. They all bring different things to the table, and they're all great players. So I think we got a good group of guys that came in.
Hey, Trendon, can you just talk a little bit about maybe the freshman classes coming in? This has been one of the more hyped freshman classes at LSU in a pretty long time. I guess just kind of what are some early traits that you've seen out of some of these guys, and what makes you think that they can be a big part of y'all's team this season?
One of the biggest traits I think, they're willing to learn. A lot of them, Jalen Cook looks up to Javonte, Mwani, looks up to me and Darius. Cam looks up to Javonte, me. So I think Eric looks up to Javonte and me. So I think a lot of those guys that like the freshmen that came in, I think they're ready. They've had they've been on campus since June, and they're ready to get going. They've learned. We've tried to be a great leader to them, and I just think they're ready to play now.
Trendon, just a couple of things. Coach talked about how last year things are a lot different this year, especially after Spain last year. What have you seen in the preseason that's so much different? And also, how many NBA teams did you talk to? I imagine there was a lot of Zoom conferences and stuff, but how many did you talk to, and what did they tell you?
As far as the first question, I think this year is a big difference. Everybody's in the gym, everybody's in the gym getting extra work. So I think we created a working environment here. Everybody wants to be great at what they do. If you came to practice and you look after practice, everybody's here getting up extra shots. Everybody's here early in the morning. So I think we've created a working environment, and we're just ready to get it going now. All of us have played together. All of us have went through adversity together, and now we're ready to get it going. Oh, and with the second question, I think I spoke to probably around 12 to 15 teams, and it was good feedback, and my biggest thing coming back was to improve my 3-point percentage this year, and just be a better leader to my team, and just lead my guys. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm ready.
Thanks.
And we'll wrap up with Cobble.
And Will said you're a little bit of a taskmaster. I guess you're like your squad leaders or whatever, your team leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You really hold them accountable. Are you relishing in that disciplinarian role?
Yeah. I think just me coming back for year two. I had to be that leader. Had to be the vocal leader. The task leader that sort of trying to discipline all the guys. But they all the guys listen. All the guys they're ready, and by me leading, it allows them to get better, and it allows them to just look at me and just look at me lead by example. So yeah, I think my unit is going good, and Javonte and Darius' unit is too. So I think with us three being the main leaders, I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Appreciate it, Trent.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Okay, we'll have Javonte. About 10 minutes. We'll open up the
Hey, Javonte, good to see you.
How you doing?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm good.
Coach Wade was talking about how he could see a little bit more comfort level with your game and your leadership this year. Now that you're not, making, I guess, the transition to being that lead point guard, can you speak to that and how much more comfortable you are?
Yeah, I'm a lot more comfortable. I think year 3 will be a big year for me and also the whole team, the whole university. I think this past summer, due to the pandemic, I think I've been working out and working on my game. I think I've been improving a lot in my skills, and I think I would take a big jump this year.
Javonte, Coach was telling us about the Leadership Council and you and Trendon and I guess Darius being on it. What do you take from that he picked you 3 guys? I mean, and what happened last year that you think made him want to do that?
I think, us 3 was the main guys playing last year. Also, we was the starters last year, 3 of the starters. I think that's a big jump for this year. We got a lot of guys looking up to us, following behind us. Once we work, the younger guys work. And I think that's a big step for this year, having the young guys work like we work. So I think that's a whole culture, big step with the culture environment that we got here.
Hey, Javonte, good to see you again, man. Was this just more of a light bulb moment for you guys, or is it like, hey, look, man, this is my time. I gotta make this happen for me and for us. What led to this kind of, I guess, changing of attitude and focus on leadership and doing everything the right way all the time?
I think it's a big step for all of us. I think going down further down the line, I think it's a big jump for all of us. Leadership skills, we was poor at it. Well, I know I was poor at it. I think, with Coach Wade and Greg Golden, helping us with that will be a big step for my life in the future.
Hey, Javonte, see you again, man. I know you mentioned the leaders and some of the newcomers that have come to y'all's team this year. I guess just kind of talk about maybe some of the standouts that you've seen in practice and just kind of what makes them able to contribute right away for you guys. Who are some guys that are maybe sticking out?
We have a lot of guys. Cam Thomas, he can knock down shots, great scorer. Jalen Cook. Great playmaker. He can score off the bounce. Nice floater game. We got Eric Gaines. Elite in transition. Really hard to stop him in transition. We just got a lot of great group of guys, and I'm looking forward to see them play this year.
Javonte, Jalen is one of the more competitive guys I've watched on the high school level. How competitive is he now that he's playing you in practice, and has that helped you, and how do you guys push each other during practice?
He real competitive. We both got that competitiveness in us, and I think at practice, he pushed me. He's a great on-ball defender, and he pushed me to get better. He's strong, and I like his game.
Any other questions for Javonte? Cabo?
Yeah, man, we're not going to get to talk to Darius today, so just kind of tell us, I guess, about his game and what you've seen transformation-wise with him. Clearly, a lot's going to be expected of him as well this year.
I've been seeing a lot of improvement in Darius' body. He's been working on his body a lot. He's playing a lot more defense. He always knocked down the 3-ball. He's starting to make plays for others, make plays for others. And he's improving to be a leader, because we have the leadership groups. And he's just becoming an all-around great player.
Hey, Javonte, you talked a little bit about defense just now. I know you guys obviously like the offense that you run, but Coach made a big switch to the 2-3 matchup zone. What do you see in that, and is it easier in your mind to play that, and how are y'all adjusting?
I wouldn't say it's easier. It's a lot of work. We press, get in the zone, having to play zone. It's not harder, but it's a lot. It's a lot goes into playing zone, knowing your area, and I think it's going to be tough, but we can handle it. And I think it's a great defensive scheme that we're using this year, and I'm ready to get to it.
Are most of the guys picking it up really well? I know Coach said he's used it a lot at his other stops, but not so much here, but how much are the guys taking to it?
Yeah, I think that's our main defense now, so I think everybody buying into it, and it should be a great defense, like I said, a great defensive scheme for us this year, and I think everybody should be good in it.
Thanks.
We'll
No problem.
wrap up with Cobble.
Javonte, tell me about these units that you and Trendon and Darius have. Is it like a competitive deal where you guys are ranked against each other, or is it really just kind of like y'all just watching over each other?
Yeah, it's a competitive type of thing. With our units, you got me, Trendon, and Days. We both have like four other teammates in our units, and we have to compete to win each week. And if you don't win, you got punished very, and it's not what you want to do after practice, after a long day of practice. So we try our hardest to show up on time, do what we have to do during the week, so we can win and get a massage or something like that for the winning reward.
Have you seen it? I mean, is it instantaneous? You can just see the difference in guys. They want to kind of have that.
Yeah, because once we won the first one and everybody was happy, or we got it like not everybody locked in. Like we got to keep winning so we can get the winning reward. So that was a big step. Now everybody want to do the right things.
And, LSU football kind of did that this past year. They called it the LSU standard of performance. Like they just kept building on each other. Do you see that? Do you see like a Joe Burrow and how he can elevate everyone else? And is there, a relationship like, hey, I can be the Joe Burrow for this team? Or is that kind of just crazy?
Can you say that again?
Sorry, I muted myself. I just like LSU football. They had such a good season, right? And it was because they were holding each other accountable, like you guys are doing now. Do you see a Joe Burrow type leadership where he holds everybody to the standard and everybody gets better because of it? Do you feel like, all right, we can be the Joe Burrow for this basketball team?
Yeah, I think so. With us putting the work that we have been putting in, and us being the leaders that we're capable of being, I think that we can push to have somewhat in that same situation happen on the basketball court.
Awesome. Thanks, Javonte. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Okay, thanks everybody. Kent will send out the link here shortly.